Hi, this is Political News in 5, and today's April 9th, 2023. Happy Easter. Now, I'm starting with the question: is zoning dead? And this is because the 2023 elections have been quite interesting for our zoning policy, where we typically try to balance the North and the South, or we try to balance, Muslim, Christian, one bishop, one imam, and so on and so forth. But with APC's same faith ticket for the presidential elections, that tested, the possibility. And Kaduna, who had already done the same faith ticket for the governor and deputy governor in 2019, repeated it in 2023 and also won. So some would say maybe zoning is dead. But we'll see for sure with the elections to the 10th National Assembly, especially around the positions of the Senate President and the Speaker. Now, on the Senate level, we have at least three contestants. We have Ojikalu, former governor of Abia from the southeast, and we have Senator Barrow from Kano, Northwest, and we also have former Governor Yari from Zamfara, who also is contesting the Senate presidency. That's from the Northwest. Now, Ojikalu, they're all making arguments on equity and fairness. Ojikalu is saying, the Southeast needs to be represented. We need a Christian in this position of number 3. The Ninth Assembly had no Southeasterners in any senior position. It's time. We supported, APC. We should get it. While Barrow and Yari are making the argument that the Northwest produces the highest number of legislators because, of course, they have the highest population and they also have 7 states. They're the only zone with 7 states. And they also provided, it was their votes, according to them, that made Tinubu win. So they also need, for equity's sake, a Northwesterner in a senior position. But then if either of them win, it would mean that the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 are all Muslims. It's happened probably before, but not quite in this permutation. In 2019, at least, and 2015, you had Oshibajo in the mix to sort of break up the Muslim. But we've had situations where the president's been Muslim, the Supreme Court Justice is Muslim, the head of the Senate is Muslim. But some people say, really, what does it matter? What we need is good governance. And some people might say, no, representation is key. So let's see where things land. It would also be the same thing for the speakership. You have the current deputy speaker who won Wase from Plateau State, North Central, who wants to also be the speaker, but he's Muslim. You also have someone from the Northeast, Betara, who also wants to run. It's very likely that Abdul Mumini from NMPP, formerly of APC, formerly of PDP, might also want to be speaker. They're in the minority. Now, what is interesting about the House of Representatives is that even though APC has the most seats at 162 out of the 325 that have been declared, when you put all the opposition parties together, PDP is 102 plus NMPP, Labour, they have 163. So they have one number more than APC. So if things stay the same, or depending on how the April 15 supplementary elections go, where we get the results of the balance of 35 seats to the House of Reps and balance to the 3 seats to the Senate, we will know where things stand. But again, very interesting to watch. This second thing I want to talk about is just the season of words. We have 2 of our renowned and beloved writers in the news around the 2023 elections. We have Chimamanda, who wrote an open letter to Joe Biden, just sort of questioning the America's position regarding their congratulations on the 2023 elections. She's saying that our democracy is hollow, alluding to how lacking in integrity the 2023 elections were. Of course, that has created a lot of activity. I've read at least 3 responses to Chimamanda's article alone. Quite hilarious just how much energy is being expended. On Wole Soyinka's side, he called Obedience and Dirty Baba Ahmed, Peter Obi's vice presidential candidate and running mate, fascists. That created a lot of energy on social media and a lot of abuse. He doubled down and wrote an article sort of saying that the response to what he said proves that he used the right label. And of course, again, many takes on that. What's interesting though is in all these responses to Chimamanda and in support of maybe Wole Soyinka, for example, those who say that the elections were fine speak to the results, while those who say those who question the 2023 elections speak to the process. So if you're a process person, it didn't go well. And if you're a results person, the results show that it was fine. And so one of the examples of the results that show that elections were fine is that in the National Assembly, APC won in the Senate in terms of the majority of numbers, and they also won in the House of Representatives for just barely. They have the biggest, largest block of votes. But we find that in Enugu, we had PDP declared as the winner of gubernatorial elections, while the State House of Assembly majority went to the Labour Party. So does it always follow that if one party wins the National Assembly, they will win the executive position? I'm not sure that that alone is enough. But of course, there are other examples. But I found that curious, and it's something that it would be nice to know what the data tells us about that situation. Finally, this is going to be the last political news in 5 for a couple of weeks. I'm going to take a break until May 28th. I'll come back, cover the inauguration and early days of the new administration, the battle for the leadership of the 10th National Assembly, and then I'll take a break again for the summer. That's it on Political News in 5. Have a great week ahead. Stay safe. Bye.